a country on the cusp of grave human rights violations. South Sudan got its independence in 2011 and became one of the youngest states in the world. But the abductions of women and girls have become a regular occurrence.
South Sudan is engulfed in communal or ethnic conflict. These conflicts, they pit together armed militias from one community versus another. Sometimes you have two tribes or two communities organized against one community or against other communities. This is the reality that has been happening for South Sudan since independence, primarily because the government of South Sudan has been unable to provide protection for the civil population. So this responsibility has fallen in the hand of youth and young people from those communities that face security challenges. So you see a situation where these militias, they arm and they go and attack, they engage in cattle raiding, they engage in the abduction of women and children.
Children in South Sudan continue to be in grave danger and face a humanitarian crisis. 70% of children are out of school, and diseases and gender-based violence are rife. And South Sudan government has been accused of not protecting its citizens.
At the end, the national dialogue came up with one strong resolution. This resolution was that President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar should exit. They should leave power. They should retire from the politics of South Sudan. And this is the common theme that you've been hearing consistently, particularly within South Sudan and also by some of the international actors. However, we have not really heard something like that from the region, particularly from the IGAD and from the African Union. As we speak, and I am sure this is no longer a surprise to anyone in the world, President Salva Kiir is sick. He's ailing. And as we can clearly see, he's unable to govern the country.
Even the international community says the situation is bad in Juba.
Sexual and gender-based violence against women and girls of all ages in South Sudan is relentless. The ongoing conflicts in places like the Central Equatorias, Jonglei, Lakes Unity, Western Barghazal and Warab states have also seen the abductions of women and girls who are either forced into marriage or become sexual slaves. Young men are recruited to fight on the basis that they are free to kidnap women and girls in forced marriage or as sexual slaves. In a country where the bride price is exorbitant in terms of cattle, the freedom to abduct young girls and force them into marriage is a terrible incentive to commit abduction and rape.
South Sudan government has yet to respond to these damning allegations, but as the African Union summit is coming up next month in Ethiopia, this matter is likely to dominate on the sidelines of the annual gathering. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.